and even more chasing. Hey, you, pull over. It's time for Bike Week. Motorcycle cops. Among all of us who ride, the uniforms and flashing lights reserve for them a special place. I know, it looks bad, but things are not always what they seem. This is not the low point of the Bike Week Cruise America Fun Mover Tour for 2002. Speed is the name of the network. It's not a violation of which we're about to be accused. Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Despain. We welcome you to Bike Week. Actually, this is Officer Steve Claiborne. He's a motor patrol cop for the Austin Police Department. He invited us down here to find out more about the job, and I said yes, because I'm smart enough not to argue with the officer. Now, Steve issued his invitation after seeing a show we did on rider training. He thought we'd be impressed with the drills these guys go through, and he was right. He also teased us with the notion that we might get to go chase some bad guys. So we'll have our version of cops a little later, and we'll also do a little jet setting. Chances are you're familiar with the basic motorcycle safety foundation training course. You got a parking lot, you got a bunch of cones, you got little motorcycles, and some basic drills designed to teach you how to ride your motorcycle safely. Well, I'm going to show you a little bit of a variation on that. What you're going to see is a parking lot full of cones. But the motorcycles are probably 4 times as big, and the guys riding them can teach you a thing or two about safe riding.
Basically, the skill I think that's most important for them to have is to know their limitations on that machine, first of all, because we have different levels of riders inside and outside of police work. But to know your limitations on that motorcycle and to be able to keep yourself within those limitations in cases of stopping, accelerating, getting out of the way, things like that. As well as, pedestrians and other things, anybody else that you may be hurt on that motorcycle, because, after all, we're riding 800-pound motorcycles. You put a 150 plus 200-pound rider on it, there you are, 1,000 pounds. That going down the road, that's a lot of weight going down the road, I don't have to tell you that. But just the officer's ability to be able to control himself and be confident in his bike, and not afraid of it, but definitely respectful of it, what it can and can't do. We're going to do the evasive maneuver, guys. Basically, you know what that is. We're going to come down to the range. You'll hit the first set of cue cones. When you hit the set of cue cones, you'll get my signal left or right. Once you get my left or right, pick the correct chute, swerve your bike into that lane, and safely change over. As y'all know, what we use this for is incidents where we're out on the roadway, in traffic, all of a sudden, 18-wheeler locks it up in front of you or whatever. You need to get over. You make that lane change and keep going. Same thing when we're doing our runs and races and things like that. As y'all know, we got bikes and kids and everything else that might all of a sudden hit the roadway when you're at speed. You make that quick lane change, avoid a collision, get on safely down the road. Good reaction, Steve. Good shot. Way to go, partner. Aha, you anticipated that time, see? Yeah, you anticipated on me, you just thought yeah, I saw you lined up all the way on the left side of that chute. You should have known I was going to see you the other way.
All right, true confessions. I'm really glad they didn't invite me to horse one of those Harleys through the cones. So what does it take to do this job?
The only thing that the department requires is that you have a motorcycle license. Then we have a basic proficiency test to see if we can theoretically complete the 40-hour course. Mm-hmm. Once a person completes the one-day test, then they're accepted in motors and they have to complete the 40-hour course. Mm-hmm. They pass that and then they are assigned a shift and they become a motor officer with Austin.
When you're the new guy, the rookie, I'm not sure what your terminology is, are they pretty supportive? Do they ride you pretty hard? Do you get a little hazing thing going on there to see if you're up to snuff, or how does that all work?
Not too bad. When you're going through the training, they're on you pretty good about, they want you to be able to ride the bike and everything, but pretty good group of guys.
At the end of the day, they want to see everybody be safe, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's most important.
They know that they get out here, they can be, you know, if they're involved in a collision, they're probably going to be much more seriously injured. But the guy, it's on an all-volunteer unit. You know when you come to here, if you have a collision, yeah, you're going to be injured, but you don't worry about that.
Instead, these guys, as all of us should, focus on developing the skills that will enable us to avoid that collision when we head out into the real world. Real skills out onto the street. Stay with us. Welcome back. Austin Motors is what these Texas bike cops call themselves, and here's a little what they do for a living.
'76 on the little black one.
Can't beat being paid to ride a motorcycle. Most people have to do it in their spare time. I get paid to do it.
I always wanted to be a motor officer, and I thought it was just a fantasy that I would never achieve. Well, eventually I became a motor officer, and it's like living a dream job.
Those of us who get paid to ride motorcycles think we have pretty good jobs. Does that apply to being a motorcycle cop too?
Yes, sir. It does. It does. We don't want to say that too loud. Yes, sir. We love it.
No, it's not your worst nightmare to be surrounded by a bunch of cops. In this case, just a bunch of motorcycle guys. And we've enjoyed hanging out with them. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. I'm Dave Despain saying so long for Bike Week from Austin Motors in Austin, Texas. We'll see you next time.